Hello, family. Welcome to another edition of Tamasha, the Voluptuous Veganista. Today, we are going to be making white pizza, and this is going to be a pretty long process, but I'm going to start with the bread maker. Before I get started, I want to say thank you and give a special shout out to Kevin Wesley. Go ahead and visit him at www.betheevolution.org, and you will find amazing gear there. His blogs and his videos are off the chain with a positive message, and he represents the Be the Evolution family, where we are born winners, not sinners, and we've been winning since the beginning. That being said, I'm going to post a link to his website in the description box, along with the recipe, as always, to this meal. So we're going to get started. Now, we're going to have vegan white pizza, maybe a green salad, and some lemon pepper cauliflower wings, just because I've been wanting them for like a really long time. So we're going to have those. And as I stated, this is going to be a process. I chose to make the dough in the bread machine. So I'm going to show you what ingredients go in the bread machine, and then I'm going to go to the store. If you don't have a bread machine, by all means, pick one up. They are not expensive. They are available in almost every thrift store in America. I think I got mine for under $10. If you don't have one, you need one. Get this in your life. It makes making your own homemade bread and doughs a breeze. You don't have to stand there and knead anything, and it just saves you a lot of time and work. So I advise you, if you don't have one, get one. So we're going to get started. I'm going to show you the ingredients, and we're going to go ahead and start this off. Okay, I am back, and I have my handy dandy Breadman Plus bread machine. You can use any brand that you can find for cheap. But we are going to start off with a cup of spring water. I'm going to just pour that into the bread machine with the inside in there, which is a baking pan and the paddle mixer attachment. So I have a cup of water. I have 2/3 cup of beer, flat beer, which is going to be flat anyway when you put it in the water. Then I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to add that right in there. And then I have 1 teaspoon. Let me get a little spatula, because I put all my dry spices on one plate. But right now I'm going to put in a teaspoon of sugar. And you already know I use organic sugar, the kind that says no bone char. Right? So I'm going to put that in there. And then after the sugar, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of honey or agave syrup, nectar. I am using the agave this time. So I'm going to just dump that in there. Help that along with my spatula. And it's very important that you put the ingredients in the bread machine as listed. Okay? Because there's a specific reason why. You don't want your salt, which is coming up next. I have 1.5 Now 1¼ teaspoons of sea salt, and I'm going to put that in there. Now, as I was saying, you do not want your salt and your yeast to come into contact with each other prematurely. So that's why it's super important to put the ingredients in as listed. Okay, next we're going to take 2 tablespoons of cornmeal right here and empty that in. And there we go. And now I'm going to put in my 3½ cups of flour. I am using regular unbleached flour, but you can use spelt flour, you can use whole wheat flour. It's completely up to you how you want your dough to be. So I'm just going to use all-purpose unbleached flour, and it's 3½ cups. And you will see when you put this in here that you're covering up the liquid, which is important. Okay. Now what you're going to do is put the rest of your ingredients in, which I have a teaspoon of baking powder that's going to go in next, then 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. So I'll put those in one at a time, starting with the baking powder, then the garlic powder, my bad. Never use garlic salt because you can't control the sodium intake. Then you're going to do your onion powder, and then the Italian seasoning. Okay. Now that you have all of those in, you have one ingredient left, which is your yeast. And this is 1½ teaspoons of bread machine yeast. You find it on the baking aisle if you don't have it. Now I'm going to show you. Okay, you have a relatively flat surface. So what I'm going to do is make like a tiny little well in here. And I am going to put my yeast, 1½ teaspoons of yeast, in that hole that I just made. Okay? Because again, I don't want the salt to come into contact with the yeast prematurely. So now I'm going to close this, and as you can see on my machine, there are different settings. I want dough. So my my dough setting is 9 on here. So I'm just going to select 9. No, I'm going to select the bear with me. I'm going to do, okay, it's my mistake. I'm going to reset it. I think I'm going to reset it. Forgive my noviceness of it all. There we go. Now I am going to course select number 9. There we go. Now I'm going to press start. And I will be back in an hour and a half because, as I mentioned before, I'm going to run to the store. So I will be right back. Okay, family, I am back, and it has been an hour and a half. I went to the store, all that, and I actually took a longer than an hour and a half. So I have a bunch of overgrowth in my dough. And what I am going to do is take it out of the machine, and I am going to separate this into 2 dough balls. And 1, 2. They look about even. I put them in 2 well-oiled bowls. I've got some sticky on my hands here, but that's okay. I'm just going to toss these around for a second, punch them down a little bit, not too much, and then I am going to cover these with saran wrap and let them rise again for about 20-30 minutes. In the meantime, we are going to be making our white pizza sauce. So I will be right back. Let me get this off of my hands and cover these up, and I will be right back. Okay, family, I am back. I got everything lined up. You see, I have my dough rising in my oiled bowls right here, and we are going to now make the pizza sauce. And I decided on a white sauce, but you can do a red sauce if you would like. I just felt like white pizza tonight. So what we are going to do is, I have my handy dandy food processor right here, and I have a cup of cashews. Now, generally, you're supposed to use raw cashews, but I can never find them here. So I am using just regular old cashews, and since they have been roasted, I don't have to soak them. If you use raw cashews, then you want to soak them for 4 hours or more, and then rinse them and then put them in your food processor. But I'm just going to use these. And also, since they have been roasted and these are lightly salted, usually I get the unsalted ones, but they're lightly salted, so you're going to cut down on the salt in your recipe. So I'm going to put the cup of cashews in there, in the food processor. And I'm just going to pulse these for a few times to break them down into pieces. Okay, so that was about 4 times, and as you can see, I now have cashew pieces. And then what I'm going to do to the bowl of the food processor, I am going to add, in this order, 1 1/4 cups of almond milk, or you can use any nut milk that you want. This is unsweetened almond milk. Put that right off in there. And then I have on this plate 2 tablespoons of flour, and this is just unbleached, regular old all-purpose flour. I have a tablespoon of nutritional yeast right there. I have garlic powder right here, a teaspoon of that. And it's a heaping teaspoon, I know, because I love garlic. I have a quarter of a teaspoon of onion powder right here. And I'm also going to be putting in my olive oil, but on this plate I also have a half a teaspoon of salt. Now if you use raw cashews, then go ahead and increase it to a teaspoon of salt. But for right now, because I'm using regular old cashews, planters, I'm just going to use a half a teaspoon of salt. And then I have a pinch of black pepper, a little bit more, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of black pepper. So I'm going to put all those in there. And then I'm going to add, I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm going to put that in there as well. And I have a teaspoon of lemon juice. This is fresh squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to add that in there as well. Now I'm going to put my top on and just let this go until I get a nice creamy sauce. So I'm going to start it out on low. And I'm just going to let this go for a while. I'll turn it on high, and when I come back it will be all done and we'll add the fresh herbs. Okay, I am back, and I'm going to turn this off. It's been about 5 minutes or so, and I just let it go. And what I have is a nice creamy sauce. Okay, and what I am going to do now is add in, I have a tablespoon of sweet basil right here, chopped up fresh, and a tablespoon of Italian parsley. So I'm going to add those both in. Get all of the goodness with my spatula here. And all of the parsley. And I am going to turn this on and let it go until my herbs are nicely incorporated in there. Now I'm going to do a taste test and see how delicious my pizza sauce, white pizza sauce, is tasting. I'm going to just take it off the top here. That's really good. All right, now I have my pizza sauce together, and I have my dough rising. Now what I'm going to do is get together the toppings for my pizza, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and I have my toppings together for my pizza. What I have here is sliced baby portobello mushrooms. I have some sliced black olives. I have some baby spinach leaves. I have some red bell pepper, julienne, pretty small. And I have some sliced field roast Italian sausage, which is vegan. Here is the wrapper so you can see what kind. Field roast is amazing. I love it. And we are going to be using that. And for our cheese today, we're going to be using Daya dairy-free mozzarella style shreds. Okay, so now that I have that all together, what I'm going to do is take one of these, my dough, I'm going to punch it down and roll it out and put it on the pan for you to see. So let me get that together and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and I have cleared off my workspace pretty much, and I have added to it some flour, a little bit of flour, and a little bit of cornmeal. This is just going to give me a nice surface to work my dough and roll it out. So I'm going to just turn that out there, punch it down a little bit, and start to work it. Okay, it's not very sticky at all. So wonderful. It feels good. It has that nice stretch to it. Now, at this point, if you are skilled, I have no idea how to spin pizza dough, how to throw it and all that. So I am just going to roll mine with my handy dandy rolling pin. Okay, but if you know how to spin pizza dough, this will be a great time to go ahead and get your spin on. Okay, and you can do this completely up to you, how small or how thin or thick you would like your crust. Okay, try to get it in a circle. It's not really working for me, but hey, we're gonna work with it. And again, there's only 2 of us. Now you do have double the amount of dough. You have one that you can eat now, put up for later. Totally up to you. If you put it up for later, it can be frozen. It can be refrigerated for up to about a week, and it can be frozen, and then when you get ready to use it, just go ahead and take it out of the freezer, thaw it in the refrigerator until it is nice and thawed out, and then you can work it. Okay, this is not exactly a circle shape, but so what? It is about as thin as I want it. So I'm going to put it on my pizza pan. Right here. And what I am going to do is lightly oil this. And I'm just going to take some olive oil on a paper towel. Not a whole lot, because as you can see, my pan has holes in it. But I just want to rub lightly on here. Just do a scotch more. Okay. Have that lightly, very lightly oiled, and what I'm going to do is transfer my dough onto my pizza pan. Uh-oh, I didn't want to make holes in it, because I do want my pizza sauce to stay on the crust. So like so. Okay. Now at this point you can make a little lip, work it how you want to. The lip is a good idea because it keeps your toppings in, especially that nice creamy sauce that we made. And once you have a little lip on there, what we are now going to do is take a little bit of our sauce and we are going to spread it on and par bake our pizza. So what I'm going to do is turn the oven on 400 and preheat it. Should have been doing this earlier, but I forgot. So as soon as that preheats, I will be right back. Okay, I am back. My stove or oven has preheated to 400 degrees, and I have my pizza dough here, and it looks like this because I just took some of the flour and cornmeal mixture and sprinkled it on the top. I have no idea why, it just seemed like a good idea. So what I'm going to do now is put a little of my sauce on my pizza crust and spread it out evenly. And I am just going to give this a quick bake for like 5 minutes or so. And then I'll come back and put the toppings on. Okay, that seems pretty good. And so I'm going to stick this in the oven for about 5 minutes. And as soon as it is done, I will be right back to go ahead and layer on my toppings. Okay, I am back. And I have my oven going off. The pizza crust has been par baking for 5 minutes. It has risen up slowly. So now what I'm going to do is to go ahead and layer my pizza, okay? So, there we go. So, I'm going to put some more pizza sauce on. Okay, then I am going to, I should have got some red onions, and I might. Hold on, let me get some red onions. Okay, I am back with some red onions as well. So now we're going to layer our pizza. I put my sauce on, and now I am going to go ahead and sprinkle the red onions on. You can do this as liberally or as modestly as you want. It's completely up to your taste. We like onions here, so onions it is. All right. Got the onions on there. Next, I'm going to take my julienne red bell peppers, and I'm just going to lay them in like a pinwheel kind of shape as best as I can get it. Since my pizza is not exactly round, I don't expect that my bell pepper slices will be precisely even either. But we're gonna load them up there. All right, got that on there good. Now I'm going to take my sausage that I have sliced kind of at an angle, my field roast Italian sausage, and just lay those on there in no particular order, but you want to try to make sure that you get a sausage for at least every bite of pizza. So this is 2 links for this one pizza, and it seems to be just the right amount. All right. Next, I'm going to take my mushrooms and just sprinkle them on any kind of way you want. You don't have to use all of these. Maybe about a cup. Here's a humongous piece. You can cut them down smaller if you want. It's completely up to you. And I am just going to load this up here because I have no chill. All right. Now I'm going to take my baby spinach and I am going to sprinkle these on randomly. These are organic baby spinach leaves that I got from Rouse's, which is a local wonderfulness market here. I know all of you don't have Rouse's, but you can check Whole Foods. We don't have Whole Foods. So, I get my ingredients from whoever carries them. And Rouse's had this baby spinach organic. So now I am going to take my cheese and again, this is Daiya non-dairy mozzarella cheese. I'm just going to cut this open. Again, the package. And I'm going to sprinkle this on probably a lot more liberally than, say, Pizza Hut or Domino's. We do have a pizzeria in the area that is located in the Hard Rock Cafe, and they use Daiya cheese on their vegan pizza. I had it once when I went to go see Salt and Pepper in concert, because this Hard Rock is a casino, and it was super good, super delicious. So I'm going to use it too. And then I'm going to take my black olives and just top this. All right. All right, so now my pizza is all topped, and I am going to throw this in the oven. I'm still set at 400 degrees, and so now I'm going to put it in the oven for about 20 minutes. my timer for 20 minutes. Right there. And get my mess cleaned up, and I will be right back with the lemon pepper cauliflower bites. Okay, the pizza is now in the oven, and I have my marinating lemon pepper cauliflower bites. So what this is a small head of cauliflower chopped up into bite-sized pieces, nugget-looking pieces, and you can make your own lemon pepper marinade, but I cheated this time because I'm tired, and I got Lawry's lemon pepper marinade. You can use any kind, just make sure that it's vegan. Okay, so I have this marinating. They've been marinating for about 30 minutes or so. And in this bowl, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour and a half a cup of cornstarch. Just your average Argo cornstarch is fine. And I whisk these together and put any additional seasonings in here because of the saltiness of the marinade. Now, if you make your own marinade, you can control the sodium content, and therefore you can put additional spices in your flour mix. So I am going to go ahead and toss these in my flour and cornstarch. In my fryer, I have, which I'll take you guys over there in a second, I have peanut oil heating up. And what I'm going to do is flour these, drop them in, and when they float, they will be done. And they should be crispy. So I'm going to go ahead and dunk these in to my flour mixture. And give them a quick shake. A bigger one. Getting flour all over the shirt. Well, it's a good idea to wear an apron. I didn't have one today. Well, I do have one. I just didn't put it on. So, yeah, there you have it. Now I have flour everywhere. But it's all good. Okay, so now I have these all coated in my flour and cornstarch mix, and I'll be right back. I'm going to move you guys over to the fryer. Okay, I am back. I am at the fryer, and it is nice and hot. So what I am going to do is, instead of trying to drop these in and have hot oil splash on me, I'm going to use my strainer. I don't even know what this is called, but I'm going to shake the excess off and lower them in. And as you can see, peanut oil is amazing. You get a great fry with peanut oil. And I got them all in there. Okay. So I'm going to let these fry, and when they float to the top, I'll be right back. Okay, 20 minutes have passed, and I am going to take the pizza out of the oven. My timer went off. So I can go ahead and remove this. And I can tell you, it looks amazing. So you guys can see right there. And I am going to see that wonderfulness. I'm going to let it sit here and rest for a minute. And we are going to check on the cauliflower. Okay, the lemon pepper cauliflower bites are now done. So I am going to unplug my fryer and remove them to a bowl lined with paper towels to absorb the excess grease before I plate and serve them. Okay, so that's all done. Now what I'm going to do is plate up, and I will be back with the full plate. I was going to make a salad, but I decided that since my pizza has so many yummy, colorful vegetables on it, that salad would be too much. So I did, however, make some dipping sauce for my lemon pepper cauliflower bites. And all it is some vegan mayo, some vegan sour cream, and some spices. I happen to use my homemade ranch dressing spices and about 2 tablespoons of unflavored, unsweetened almond milk, and I just whipped it up in the little hand blender for a second and got my dipping sauce. So again, I will be right back with the full plate, and I will see you guys in a sec. Okay, I am back all plated up. I have vegan pizza, lemon pepper cauliflower bites, and ranch dipping sauce, all vegan. And my beverage, of course, is today iced soursop tea. So I hope that you guys all enjoyed making this dish as much as I did. I hope you make it for yourself, and I hope that you enjoy. Again, I want to shout out my Be Evolution family. Kevin Wesley, go to his page at www.betheevolution.org. Again, I'll be linking that in the description box along with the recipes for today's video. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys love cooking with me as much as I love cooking with you. And until next time, until next time, if you like this video, if you enjoyed it, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, and share. And with that being said, now, until next time, happy cooking and happy eating. Bye, family.